thank you very much for joining me for the first of our early summer proper classes this week. It's going to be very much a very enjoyable, I keep saying very, so obviously that's the case, enjoyable, sinuous flow of finding a stretchy softness throughout the whole body. And we're working primarily with the connective tissue, fascia, this wonderful tensile fluid-filled structure that wraps around every element in the body. And before we do anything, I'm just going to remind you and extol the virtues of proper hydration. The ideal way to keep yourself hydrated is a few mouthfuls every 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So if you've got some to hand, and I have, I'm hopefully not going to jinx it and then kind of swallow it the wrong way, and take a mouthful now. Lovely, excellent. Then what we're going to do to start class, elegant segue back onto my wee cushion, is just come to a seated position. Make sure if you need, you've got something underneath a knee if it's kind of winging up, and just allow yourself to sink down through the sit bones, through the hips, the legs, into the mat. So you feel really nice and stable, and then just noticing that wonderful elevation of the spine, all the way through the lower back, the back of the waist, in between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, up into the crown of the head, and just give those shoulders a little bit of a roll, you know, draw them up to the ears, roll them back and down, just a couple of times, ease through the head a little bit, one way, other way, and then just come to seated. Closing the eyes, and what we're going to do is just notice the breath coming in through the nose, and then through the mouth, just blow as much of the air out steadily. It's like just letting go of the day. Nice big breath in. And we'll do that again. Nice exhale through the mouth. Long, slow and steady exhale. Breathing in through the nose. Last exhale through the mouth. So we're just really inviting any stress, any kind of thoughts that's been preoccupying us, just to flow out on the exhale. And then we're going to breathe into the belly, breathing right into the belly, feeling the belly expand under the hand. You can have your hand there. And then as you exhale, just exhaling through the nose. Nice big breath in again, breathing into the belly. And exhaling through the nose. Shoulders nice and relaxed, face soft. Breathing in. And breathing out. So we're just going to extend the breath now, breathing into the belly, up into the ribs. And as you exhale, it's the ribs and the belly relaxing back down. Breathing into the belly, right down into the pelvic floor as well, and then up into the ribs, into the back of the ribs, the sides of the ribs. And then exhaling, just relaxing the breath out of the body. Lovely. Next, breathing into the belly, into the ribs, right up underneath the collarbones, into the chest. And breathing all of that out. So introducing a count to the breath, maybe breathing in for 3 or 4, whatever feels comfortable. And breathing out for 3 or 4. So the breath is nice and steady and even and equal. Breathing all the way in. And breathing all the way out. Lovely. So once you feel that the breath is that lovely steady flow all the way in for 3 or 4 and all the way out for 3 or 4, you can have the hands resting one on top of the other on the heart, or bring the palms together. And just bringing something to mind, something to heart, that brings you a sense of joy or fun. And it might be something, a memory of what's happened today or in the last few days, or just something that you know fills your heart. And really don't stint on inviting the joy to flood in, and it may even have reached the corners of your mouth, or the little crow's feet at the corners of the eyes, wrinkling into a smile. So just inviting in that sense of feeling connected. And on the exhale, just inviting the whole of you into this very moment right now. So we're arriving on the exhale, feeling welcome, feeling soothed, and on the inhale, connecting with something that brings us joy, sense of fun, and feeling connected. Lovely. So let's just coordinate our breath. Breathing in, 2, 3. And breathing out, 2, 3. Lovely. Breathing in, opening the eyes, taking the arms all the way up. Interlacing the fingers, just stretching up into the palms. Then exhale, just bringing the hands down and rolling the chin into the chest. We'll just do a couple more. Breathing in all the way up, stretching up. And then exhale, rolling the chin to the chest, bring the arms down. So inhaling, just rolling the head up so the nose or the chin is facing the ceiling. And then as you exhale, rolling the nose down towards the chest. And just doing a couple of those, nice and slow. Inhale, nose up to the ceiling, chin up to the ceiling. And then exhale, rolling all the way down to the chest. Next inhale, drawing a slow arc over to the left shoulder as you breathe in. And then exhale, coming down to the center of the chest. We'll just go over to the right shoulder. Inhaling. And then exhale down to the chest. So just a couple more. Inhale. Nice slow circle over to that left shoulder. Exhale, coming down to the chest. And then a nice slow inhale to the right shoulder. So continuing to take the head from side to side. Or pause on the exhale. And as you inhale, you can start to come into a full circle. So we're just working with the head, easing tension in the neck, just easing and finding a bit more spaciousness, as it were, in the uppermost of the body. And then when you're ready, you can just change direction, nice and slow and steady. Any lifting up of the head, so if it's the nose up or the chin up to the ceiling, make sure that the tongue is on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Lovely. And then just finishing, bringing the head down to the center of the chest and inhaling, kind of unfurling, coming back to face forwards. Next inhale, lengthening up into the crown of the head. We're going to take that left hand and place it over the right ear. And then as you exhale, just draw the head over to the left side, keeping this right shoulder nice and relaxed. That's it. Just breathing into the right side of the neck. Lovely. Exhale, we're just going to come back to center. Inhale, change hands. So first of all, we're tucking the chin because we're lifting up into the crown of the head. And then as we exhale, we're drawing the head down. So we're just feeling this lovely stretch now on the left side, on that left shoulder, left side of the jaw. Breathing into that. Lovely. Exhale, just coming back to center. So from here, we're going to come to all fours. And into child's pose. Again, you know, if you're feeling the need, have a little slurp of water and then make your way carefully, note to self, into child's pose. So the knees are wide, the toes are touching, the hips are coming back towards the heels, and then we're finding something for the head. So it might be that having the head down on the mat feels a little bit too much, especially if the hips are tight after exercise, after running. And so just finding a place of comfort and soft rest for the body. Just breathing into the whole of the spine, the lower back, into the waist in and around the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. And as you exhale, just softening and soothing through the body. So what we're going to do is just start to come up to all fours, but we're going to give ourselves about 4 or 5 goes. So as we inhale, engaging band, and we might lift the head, the shoulders a little bit, the hips, and then ease back down. And then inhale, come up a little bit more. So we move with a wonderful ebb and flow, and then come a little bit lower. So we're just slowly finding our way up to all fours, and feel free to start to move through the hips, bring the knees, hip width apart. Gently, slowly wag your tail, bring the weight into the wrists and back away. So start to draw a circle through the whole body, bring the weight into the wrists and then the hips back away. And then join that into a figure of 8. So we're drawing a figure of 8 with our tail and with the whole of the body. So we feel a lovely kind of sinuous movement as we move into the head, into the shoulders, have the eyes closed or open. Please enjoy just moving through the body and finding new ways to move through all fours. It's not just cat-cow, a kind of flowing linear way of moving through the spine, but almost a lovely kind of like a fish swimming through the water or a snake, uncurling, called by the wonderful music of the snake charmer. Lovely. So, and then, you know, invite the head to join in too. So we're just freeing up the body. And then we can come onto fingertips, rounding the back, exhaling, navel hugging up as we tuck the tail into cat. And then do the opposite, untuck the tail, shoulders rolling down the back, shoulder blades to the waist as we take the gaze up. And just do a few of those. So we're just getting a lovely sense of opening through the spine as we exhale and opening through the front of the body. But again, just keeping a soft fluidity, not kind of forcing the body into a deep stretch, but just finding a soft way of inviting in a little bit more flow into the body. Lovely. So now starting to stir that pot of soup with your butt, which for those of you who have practiced with me for more than a year will remember that this is where I say things like, imagine that we are collectively Shakira, or something like that. So we're just going to move through the hips, through the pelvis, through the lower back, through a couple of slow, delicious butt stirring, soup stirring circles one way, and then change direction back the other way. Lovely. So we're feeling nice and warm, we're feeling nice and fluid, we're feeling as if we're waking the body up in a lovely, feeling-y way rather than thinking-y way. Wonderful. So from here, what we're going to do is take that right foot, stretch the leg behind, tuck the toe, and on the exhale, just turn to around that left shoulder. Inhale, come back to all fours and change sides. Left leg extending, stretch away into the heel, exhale, turn to look around the opposite shoulder, right shoulder. Inhale, come back to all fours. Lovely. So this one, we're going to take that right foot and bring the instep down in line with the knee. And at the same time, we might want to tuck that left foot a little bit behind, like a gate leg. And inhale, open up, elbow, wrist, palm, pressing the palm up in towards heaven. Heaven and earth, pressing the hand down into the mat, opening across the chest, and then exhale, just popping that hand forward, pointing to where the kind of, just trying to think, the imaginary wall meets the ceiling on a low building. A little bit lovely. And then drawing that hand back slowly, coming all the way up, nice big circle, and then popping that hand down. Just come back to all fours and do the same on the other side. So, left leg extended, tucking the right leg a little bit behind for support, inhaling, moving through the joints, elbow, wrist, palm pressing up towards the sky. And in the center of each of the palms, we've got our fire energy points for the pericardial meridian. Lovely. And then from here, just taking the arm overhead, stretching through the left side of the body, and then curling the hand towards you as if you're moving through the treacle, and just doing a nice big circle again, all the way over, and then all the way down, coming back to all fours, and ready for threading the needle. So inhaling, left hand, elbow, wrist, palm opening up. Exhale, threading it through. Make sure that right elbow is above the right wrist, it hasn't flopped down. Inhale, unthread again. Elbow, wrist, palm opening up. This time I'm going to thread it through with the palm face down. So bringing the head down towards the mat, breathing into the stretch in the ribs, around the shoulder joint. Inhale, opening all the way up, coming back to all fours. We're just going to do the same on the other side. So inhaling, opening up through the elbow, the wrist, the palm on the right hand, and then exhale, threading it through so the back of the hand, the back of the arm is resting down on the mat. Navel hugging back towards the spine. Inhale, unfurling, nice and slow, nice and steady. Exhale, threading it through now. It's the palm face down. Lovely. Inhaling, unthreading. Wonderful. Coming back to all fours, and from all fours, we're just going to come back into child's pose. Stretching the arms forward, and then just coming up with a little rounded back. Bringing the knees and feet to hip width if they're not already, and just easing into a little moon flow. So the hips are coming forward, we're lengthening up into the crown of the head. The shoulder blades are drawing down the back. We're going to micro bend in the elbows. So we're soft in the elbows. Taking the gaze up, and then exhale, really hinging at the hips, drawing back with the navel, coming back into child's pose with the knees and feet like little frown lines in line with the hips. We'll just do one more of these, nice and slow and steady, as if you're finding your way that fluid flow through the body on the inhale, and then exhale, easing back into child's pose. So just coming up from here, nice and slow and steady into an up dog. And then as you exhale, tucking the toes into a downward dog. Lovely. So rolling up through both heels. And then as you exhale, bending one knee and rolling one heel down towards the mat. Inhaling, rolling up with the heels. Exhale, stretching the other heel down. So nice and slow and stretchy. Inhaling, rolling the heels up. Exhale, really drawing the sit bones further away from the wrist. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heel down. So we're going to do heels up now and both heels down as we breathe out. Soft in the elbows and the shoulders, engaging banders, drawing the sit bones a little further away, rolling the heels up again. Exhale, rolling them down. And then choose a foot and just rest on the top of the foot, giving the front of the foot a good stretch out. Draw the foot a little closer so you can comfortably roll through the toes, forward and back. So your gaze is towards the toes and you're just rolling through to rest on the top of the foot and then rolling through the toes so you're pressing the ball of the foot down into the mat. Lovely. And then just change legs. So resting on the top of the opposite foot now, just a couple of breaths here, finding the stretch in the front of the ankle. And then rolling through the toes, forward and back. So we're just working with the connective tissue in the toes, in the soles of the feet, so our roots, as it were, are really nice and alive. And then drawing both heels down towards the mat. Feeling that stretch through the back of the body, breathing in to the spine, into the glutes, into the hamstrings, and then bending in the knees, stepping, walking forward as you breathe in. Feet hip width apart, and then as you exhale, just softening the knees, folding in the hips, navel hugging up towards the spine as you lengthen into a forward fold. Inhale, pop the hands on the shins or keep the fingertips on the mat. Come into a nice half lift. Really lift up with banded. Press the soles of the feet into the mat. Lift the sit bones up. Keep the knees as soft as you need if you're tight in the legs. And then exhale, softening down again. Lovely. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, finding space and length in the legs. Engaging banded, finding length in the spine, shoulders down the back. And then exhale, just easing that off. Lovely. Dropping the weight into the feet, unfurling. Steadily, coming all the way up as you breathe in, interlacing the hands. Nice big stretch up as the palms face up in towards the ceiling. Feeling that length through the whole of the body from the soles of the feet. And then as you exhale, just relax the shoulders down the back. So we're just going to stretch over to one side. As you breathe in, exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, nice stretch over to the other side. Lovely. And coming into standing. So from here, we'll just come into a little bit of Qigong for the Caesar. So the meridians run from the side of the chest, along the inside of the arm, through the 5 point in the palm, to the tip of the middle finger. This is the pericardial meridian and it runs on both sides. So we're just going to spiral from the chest, through the elbow, the wrist, to the palms. Feel that lovely opening all the way through to the tips of the fingers. Then the triple heater meridian runs from the back of the 4th finger. So we're going to spiral from the 4th finger through the elbows into the shoulders as we tuck in the chin and the navel comes back. Lovely. Inhale, coming from the chest, spiraling through the arms to the tips of the middle fingers. Exhale from the tips of the ring fingers through into the shoulders. Lovely. So as we inhale, it's this wonderful expansive quality out to the peripheries. And then as we exhale, we're coming back into the center. Lovely. So we'll do the same again. Inhaling. Exhale. Lovely. And then as you inhale, pushing the hands towards you. As you exhale, pushing the hands away. I'll come side on. So this is about moving your hands as if through deep water. So we want to feel resistance in the arms, resistance in the core. And then inhale, tucking the tail, coming forward with the chest. It's almost like a standing cat-cow. And then we're doing the opposite. We're rounding the back, tucking the tail again. So almost, it's like we move from the tail all the way up, opening into the chest. And then tucking the tail, rounding the back, feeling that curve. So moving through the spine with the breath. Nice and slow, nice and steady. Lovely. And then just take the arms all the way behind, inhaling, opening into wild goose, and then exhale, flexes for wings. Lovely. Bring the ring fingers together. Last couple. Inhale, opening all the way up. So exhale, cross the arms, bring the hands onto the shoulders, left hand on top. And then just drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. Lifting the left heel, just twisting, turning into the twist on the exhale. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, crossing arms, right hand on top now. Dropping the ear to that left shoulder. Inhale, coming into the twist. And then exhale back to center. Inhale out to this other side. Realize we only did one side on the other side. Terrible. Inhaling, unfurling. So we'll just redress that. Exhale, come back. Left hand on top, dropping the right ear down, and then lifting that right heel. Exhale, coming into the twist. Lovely. Inhale, back to center, opening the arms up. Getting the breathing a little bit mixed up there. Sorry, guys. Exhale, rolling the fingers together. Inhaling, rolling up. It's really hard sometimes to do a breath-based thing. Just keep it there when you're speaking, because you're going to lose your way. So I apologize for that. Lovely. So, interlacing the hands, drawing them down the back as you tuck the chin. Inhale, looking up. So we're nice and open across the chest. And then exhale, just folding forward. Nice and slow, nice and delicious. And we give the shoulders a wee shuggle. And just lengthening the spine, finding a bit of space and joyousness in freeing up the back of the body. And then as you exhale, put the hands down to the base of the spine. Inhale, unfurl. Take the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers. Pressing the palms up and towards the sky as you allow yourself to sink down and feel rooted through the feet at the same time. And then just bringing the hands down in front of the heart. So we're just going to move into some sun salutation type stuff. So feet together, or coming into Samasthiti, whatever feels comfortable for you. So you've noticed the jaunty angle of my mat. And in early summer, if we were in the same space together, we practice in a circle. So this is the center of the circle. If you imagine you're all here with me, I'm kind of looking out to the neighbors across the way. And then we have moments of being together, practicing together in a circle, like a lovely yoga kami. But then we also have moments of practicing on our own. And the element of early summer is very much about space and connection. So sometimes we need to connect with other people, and especially now that we can meet and social distance chat with family and friends, it's an incredible moment and something that we really need, I think. But also, we, as best we can, need to make sure we have our own space for ourselves. So this is why we kind of do this practice in early summer. And bear with me. There may be moments in the practice where if you've got me right at the top end of your mat, you might prefer to have me to the side. So wherever you are, you can quite easily look at the screen. So going forward in the weeks, that's maybe something that you might want to consider or change if you haven't considered it already. No worries for tonight. There's nothing crazy that we're going to do. Actually, no, there is something crazy, but it's going to be good. Okay. So coming into Samasthiti, let's just reacquaint ourselves with that sense of connection. So in spring, we really focused on feeling rooted, and that continues in early summer. It's that lovely rising energy of spring, and there's what's rising energy if it's not grounded? If it's just rising energy, then it's just going to dissipate and can't sustain itself or stay stable. So we want to really encourage that sense of rooted quality through the soles of the feet. So we're just going to lift and spread the toes, press down into the balls of the feet, rock forward and back, find that point of balance. Lovely. And then just invite the energy from the earth to come up into the legs. So we can really lift the kneecaps, feel the energy coming into the calf muscles, the shins, coming up into the thighs, engaging the bandhas now, lifting up into the abdomen. So we're drawing up gently with the center of the pelvic floor. We're drawing back and up with these lower abdominal muscles as if the navel is coming back and up, lifting up to the heart. And early summer is very much one of starting to connect with a sense of joy, with a sense of heartfeltness. So placing the hands on the heart or together in prayer, whatever feels natural for yourself, and just bring back to mind that thing that fills your heart with joy or brings you a sense of fun and connection. And with that coursing through your body like the most soothing and lovely of things, on the inhale, take the arms all the way up, palm to palm. Exhale, just a delicious forward fold. Bring the hands comfortably down, could be onto the legs, could be onto the mat. Inhale, come into a nice half lift. And then exhale, popping the hands back, stepping back into plank. Shoulders down the back, stretching into the heels. Pop the knees down if you need. Lowering a couple of inches on the exhale. Inhale, coming into a nice upward dog. You can lift the knees if you like. Roll those shoulders back, soften the elbows. And then tucking the toes, downward facing dog. So you can either walk the dog, or you might prefer to dance the dog, where you move the hips a little bit more, swing the hips from side to side, allow the barrel of the ribs to get into that lovely sinuous kind of spiraling motion, and the gaze goes through and under the armpit of the straight leg. So you're bending one knee, looking through underneath the opposite armpit, and then changing legs. Lovely. So just finding that soft fluidity through the body. Wonderful. And then inhale, both heels up. Exhale, both heels down. And we'll do the same again. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Pressing the palms into the mat. Finding space between the fingers. Pressing the thumb, the second and third fingers down into the mat. Walking the feet towards the hands a little, so you can lift the toes and find space in between the toes. Really paying attention to a soft stretchiness. So the elbows are soft, the shoulders are down towards the waist. And if anything, we can really find space for the head as we move the head from side to side, just helping free up and release any tension or stuck stress in the neck and in the upper back. Keep drawing the heels towards the mat and then bending at the knees, stepping forward on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold, just melting down over the legs, and then drop the weight into the feet. Inhale, opening all the way up, coming into the world swan. So we're peeling the middle fingers away, feeling open from the chest. Exhale, rolling from the four fingers into the shoulders. We'll just do that again. Inhale, open all the way up. Exhale, take the hands behind, tucking the chin. Inhale, looking up, and then exhale, just a nice soft forward fold. Wonderful. Releasing the hands down onto the back, onto the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands flat, stepping back into plank. Choosing if the knees are down or the knees are off. And then just lower a couple of inches as you exhale, hugging in the elbows. Inhale, nice easy upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you're either walking or dancing the dog, or if you've had a really tough day and you're feeling a bit knackered, just pop the knees down and come into a gentle moon flow. So your choice, dancing the dog, walking the dog, or just a couple of slow mindful moon flows where you're moving from up dog on the inhale to child's pose on the exhale. And if you've been doing quite a lot of walking, running, you're very welcome as you move into child's pose to have the toes tucked. So you can just invite a little bit more spaciousness into the soles of the feet. And then everybody coming together in downward dog, once again, bending at the knees, stepping forward as you're breathing in. Exhale, just softening down over the legs as the navel comes up towards the spine, and then unfurling, nice and connected through the soles of the feet, coming all the way up, pressing the palms up towards the sky, and then from here, exhale, bring the hands down into in front of the chest. So we'll just come into that again. Inhaling, opening up into wild goose. Exhale, bringing the little ring fingers together as we tuck in the chin. Inhaling from the chest out to the middle fingers. Exhale. This time walk one finger along as you interlace the hands behind and draw them down as you tuck in the chin. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, just hinging at the hips, giving the shoulders to be sugary. Lovely. So from here on the next exhale, we're just going to bring the hands down to the base of the spine and release them either onto the legs or onto the mat. Inhale, come into a lovely half lift. Find that length in the legs, in the spine, and then hands flat, stepping back into plank. So lowering just a couple of inches in plank on the exhale, and then inhale, coming into a nice easy upward dog, rolling or tucking the toes, downward dog. So let's come into dancing warrior downward dog. So the toes are together, the heels are lifted, and the gaze is to the toes. We'll start with the left leg. So just take the left leg up nice and straight, breathe the toe, get a good stretch through the hip. Exhale, roll the knee towards the chest, the nose, and pop it down. Same with the other one. Inhale, nice big stretch up with the right leg, rolling the nose to the knee on the exhale, and popping up on the mat. Left leg, lifting it up, bend the knee, flex the foot, pick up an imaginary lamp post, and then as you exhale, you're going to thread that foot through, over to the right side. Okay. So one option, yeah, you're threading it through like this, okay? So you thread it through to the right side of the mat. One option is to do that a couple of times. Unthread it, pedal back up the mat post, exhale, cross it through, cross the body down onto the mat, okay? If you want to go to the next stage, which is wild thing, then what you start to do is bring the feet onto the mat. They start to turn around, so you lift that right arm, press into the feet, lift the hips, come into a one-handed back bend. Woohoo! Exhale, come, bring the hands back down, take the left leg back up, and exhale, pop it down. Do the same on the other side. So if you're a little bit unsure, don't worry, we'll get a couple of goes of this in class. So, right leg, bending the knee, flexing the foot, picking up your lamp post. And then as you exhale, it goes across the body, over to the left side. You can rest on the left, on the outer edge of the foot. And then if that feels enough, you can just pick back up your lamp post. And so you're crossing across the body and you're opening into the hip. Next stage is to start to bring the weight into the right hand. Pivot round on the feet and they start to turn away from you. And then press into the hands and feet and lift the hips up. And just let that left arm open over the head. So nice and open through the front of the body, through the hips. And then exhale, just spiral back, pop your left hand down, unthread your right leg, lift it all the way up, pop it down into downward facing dog, and then everybody just pop down into child's pose from there. So knees and feet hip width apart, and then just do a couple of slow, mindful moon flows. Eyes can be open and closed. And so we're looking in early summer to find that soft, sinuous fluidity, and also have a little bit of fun. So if the thought of doing a wild thing fills you with terror, then please don't feel that you have to do it. But actually, sometimes you can do things and you think, oh, I'm just doing one-handed back bend number. And it can be quite fun. So lovely. Let's all come into downward facing dog now. And then from there, bending the knees, looking to the hands, stepping walking forward on the inhale. Exhale, just softening down over the legs and then slowly unfurling. Inhaling, come all the way up. Interlacing the hands above, stretching the palms up as you feel rooted through the feet. Exhale, relax the shoulders down, just have a nice stretch over towards the side. Exhale back into the center. Inhale, nice stretch over to the other side. Exhale, coming back into Samasthiti. So from here, we're going to come into more of a standing flow. Feel free to take on a little bit of water to help keep your connective tissue hydrated. And the first pose we're going to do is tree. Left leg's going to be the standing leg. Right leg's going to be the balancing leg. So tree could be simply resting that right heel on the ankle. I'll just show you side on. If you're feeling a bit sugary, hands can be in prayer, or you can even have your second and third fingers on the hips like Conor the Cob skewers to just help you get a sense of where your center of gravity is. Okay, so it's in the center of the pelvis, in line with your hips, as it were. And the next stage can be just bringing the toes up. So this is quite a useful one for me with my wee funny ankle. You know, so I can just feel all of the adjustments and micro adjustments that that foot is making. And that's great, that's what it should be doing. So when the whole body's moving, that shows me that perhaps the communication between the foot, the ankle joint, isn't as it should be, which is that fluid adaptability. Okay, If you're feeling very good at your tree today, or feeling more stable than perhaps I am, then you're very welcome to take that right foot and just press it against the side of the lower leg, have the hands in prayer, or indeed bring the leg up above the knee, don't rest it on the knee joint itself, and come into whichever tree feels a nice tree for yourself. Lovely. So we're feeling grounded through the left foot, we're engaging bandha, we're lengthening up through the spine into the crown of the head, the shoulders are relaxed. Lovely. And just inviting that sense of feeling connected with yourself. You know, sometimes hands in prayer is really nice. Other times it can be quite nice just to hold your hand as if you're holding someone else's hand. Have that in front of the heart. Lovely. So I'm just going to turn to face the short edge of my mat once again. And take that right knee nice and high. Just step back a leg length. Then immediately turn to face the short back edge of your mat for Trikonasana. If you have a brick or a block handy and you'd like to use that to help create a bit more space in the hip, please do. If you don't, that's fine, we can use the leg. So we're going to draw that right hip back, so it's kind of almost sticking this left hip out. And again, let's reacquaint ourselves with really reaching through the feet. Lift and spread the toes, find spaciousness, almost invite the feet to broaden on the mat. And then as we inhale, we're taking the right hand up. So it's lovely and spacious here on this right side. As we exhale, we keep reaching forward with the hand and drawing this right hip back towards the back edge of the mat. So we're still finding space. Then from here, popping the hand down onto the shin, onto your brick, onto your block. Now the reason that it's useful to have a go at perhaps not going so deep is that we can really open up and experience more space in this right hip. So this left hip is just relaxing forward and down. And then we've got our left hand that we're going to take around the barrel of the ribs. The navel draws back towards the spine as we rotate at the waist, and then open up, elbow, wrist, palm. So we're soft in the shoulders, in the elbows, and then we're just going to press the palm up towards the sky, heaven and earth. Breathing with that. Lovely. Dropping the hand down to the flank, coming forward, taking it overhead, just finding a bit more space through the side of the body, and then pulling it towards us, back onto the plank, wrapping it round the back of the body. See if we can tuck the hand in at the top of that right hip. Don't worry if you can't, but just think about drawing the arm behind to open into this left shoulder in a comfortable way. Finding space, breathing into that. Wonderful. And then looking down at the front foot, inhaling, we're going to come up into a nice easy warrior one. So for myself, I'm going to adjust the foot pattern slightly so I feel comfortably able to face the short back edge of the mat. The hands are coming up, the shoulders are down the back, and I'm soft through the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, palms facing. Turning the palms to face out, I pull the hands towards me, so I feel that engagement in the core, and then I push the hands away. Lovely. So exhale, pull the hands towards me, nice and slow, and then inhale, push the hands away, and then pressing the palms up towards the sky, open through the chest. Allow the elbows to go out to the side, so I feel really nice and broad through the front of the body. Wonderful. And then the left hand comes down, so the arms out in front, parallel to the floor. I'm going to wrap my right arm under and up. Lovely. So it's kind of like this. And then invite the shoulders to relax. So the next stage is start to bend that left arm in and see if I can draw the hands a bit closer. Now, for some of us, that's going to feel like a really deep stretch in the upper back. For others, we can come into more of a twisted vine with the hands and bring the palms into some sort of contact. But it's not about the contact in the palms, it's about finding space and stretch in between the shoulder blades and the upper back. So wherever you are, whatever you are in your body, how it feels, breathe with that. Just keep breathing into the upper back, relax the shoulders so they feel nice and soft and heavy. And then if you want to go deeper, then the elbows can start to float up. But again, the shoulders are keeping down the back. Lovely. Next inhale, unwrap the arms and take them behind. Exhale, tucking in the chin, looking down the mat. Lovely. Inhale, looking up. And we're just going to come into a forward fold. So the ribs are coming down onto the thigh, but we're really engaging the core. So we're just lightly resting the chest, the side of the body on that front leg, checking the front knee is above the ankle, rolling onto the outer edge of the back foot, so you feel nice and balanced and stable through the legs. Giving the shoulders a wee shuggle. As you exhale, pop the hands down to the base of the spine. Inhale, coming all the way up, and then stepping forward and into tree. So now the right leg is the standing leg. The left leg is the balancing. You can have the hands in prayer, or one on top of the other over the heart, or just holding onto your hands like you're holding the hand of somebody else. And just breathe. So this is the moment again of just inviting in that sense of joy. What was that thing? Who was that person, that activity? What was it that filled your heart? Just allow that into this very moment. Wonderful. Exhale, we're just going to pop the feet down to hip width. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Palms facing up to the ceiling as we press up into a lovely big stretch. And then from here, exhale, just coming down into a nice easy forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands flat, stepping back into plank. Shoulders down the back, choosing if you're lowering with the knees off or on the mat. So exhale, lowering down a few inches, and then inhale, coming to a nice easy upward dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So you're either walking the dog or dancing the dog, or coming into a gentle moon flow. So choosing what feels right for you tonight. Do you want to be more active, spiraling through the body, or just flowing through the spine? Lovely. So find a softness through the shoulders, through the elbows, gently tuck the elbows in. See if the head can lengthen down towards the elbows a bit more as you move through the hips. In downward dog, or move through the spine in child's pose. Lovely. So everybody making their way up into downward dog. We're just going to bring the feet together for dancing warrior. Starting off with the left leg. Taking the left leg up, stretching into the toes. Exhale, rolling the nose towards the knee, and then stepping that foot down. Lovely. Other side, right leg. Lifting the right leg up, pointing up towards the ceiling, nice and straight leg, and then rolling the knee to the nose and popping it on the mat. Wonderful. So other side now. Left leg, bend your knee, flex the foot, pull up your leg posts, and then thread it through. Thread it through to the right side, choosing if you're going to continue to do that. Take the hip back, the knee back open, so you open into the hip. Thread it through a couple of times, or anchor that left foot down. Start to pivot on the toes so they face away from you. Lift the right arm and then press up. Lift the hips up, coming into wild flip. Lovely. And then from there, bring the right hand down and spiral the leg all the way back up. Pop it back into dancing warrior down the middle. Lovely. Other side. Right leg comes up. Bend the knee, flex the foot, pull up the lamppost. Exhale, cross it through the body. So the right leg's crossing through, and then choosing what you're doing. If it's coming into wild thing, or opening the leg back up so you feel open in the groin, and then threading it through. So choose what feels right. If it's wild thing, just pivoting on the feet, best malfunction, and then taking the left arm, lifting that off the mat. So again, you're supported by the right hand and both feet. You really press up and lift up into the hips, we're opening the chest. Wonderful. From there, just spiral back, pop the left hand down, unthread, lift the right knee up, and then come back into downward facing dog, pop the knees down into child's pose. So from child's pose, just a couple of slow moon flows, all the way forward on the inhale. Lovely, and all the way back, that wonderful ebb and flow through the spine. We'll just do one more. Inhaling all the way into upward dog, and then all the way back into child's pose. So, coming into upward dog, and then from there into downward dog. Tucking the toes, downward dog. Looking to the hands, bending in the knees, stepping, walking forward on the inhale. Exhale, softening down over the legs. So we're soft at the knees. We're hinging at the hips. We're finding length in the spine, in the glutes, in the hamstrings, and then dropping the weight into the feet and unfurling. Coming all the way up, interlacing the hands, pressing the palms up into the air as you Feel that connection through the soles of the feet. Exhale, just relaxing the shoulders and the elbows. Nice big stretch one way as you breathe in. Exhale back to the center. Nice big stretch over to the other side. Lovely. Coming back into standing. So from here, let's come into tree. So right leg is the standing leg. Left foot is balancing. Just arriving, feeling rooted through the standing leg. Feeling nice and supportive in bandha. Feeling long in the spine into the crown of the head. Lovely. And then take that left knee nice and high, step back and leg length, and immediately turn for Trikonasana back to the front edge of the mat. So this is where you can see it's a bit like a cane. So inhaling, reaching up now with the left arm. We're kind of leaning into this right hip here. And as we reach forward, this bottom left hip keeps drawing away as we lengthen the abdomen forward and along. And then popping the hand down onto your block or down onto your shin. So we're feeling nice and rooted through the soles of the feet. The legs are strong, but we're not looking at the joints. We're engaging bandha, then taking the right hand round the barrel of the ribs, gently rotating from the waist, and then inhaling, opening all the way up through the elbow, the wrist, the palm. From here, just pressing the palm up into heaven. So that lovely kind of sense of equidistant between both of the palms. Wonderful. Breathing with that. Then taking the arm overhead, finding more space in that right side, and then bringing it all the way back onto the flank and just wrapping it behind so we can really open into this right shoulder. Looking down at the front foot, bending into the knee, inhaling, adjusting the feet if you need to come into a nice warrior one. So making sure you might need to get a bit more length between the legs because you don't want to have this front knee forward of the ankle. It wants to be at a right angle, okay? So you may need to step whichever leg, front foot, back foot, a bit further away. So inhaling, taking the arms up, relaxing the shoulders, feeling nice and soft through the arms. And then we're going to pull the hands towards us as we exhale. And then push the backs of the hands away as we inhale. Lovely. Once again, exhale. Feeling strong in the core, moving through deep water with the arms. Inhale, getting that sense of moving with resistance. And then we're going to come into that stretch. So we feel the ankle points of the feet and the palms of the hands. And we're finding that stretch between the two. So the navel's hugging back towards the spine. The shoulders are soft, but we keep finding length in the spine, opening through the chest. Lovely. Right hand comes down, so it's horizontal, parallel to the floor. And then we're going to take the left hand and wrap it under and up. So it's nearer to the body than that right elbow. Lovely. And then relax the shoulders before we do anything else. Then start to fold that right hand in. Find out where we are, if the hands are just trying to come into the same plane, as it were. Or see if we can get contact with the palms together. Breathing with that. So we're nice and heavy and soft in the shoulders. We're just finding space in between the shoulder blades as we breathe all the way in and all the way out. So from here, if you wish to go deeper, the elbows start to float up. But we want to make sure that those those shoulders are nice and down the back. We're not lifting up with the shoulders, they're staying down the back. So we can really deepen the stretch. And you can start to draw the fingers, as it were, away from you as well. Wonderful. So next inhale, we're just going to open the arms all the way open and then take them behind, walking one finger along so the clasp is a little different as we breathe out. Inhale, looking up. And then exhale, peeling the spine or the chest, the ribs down towards that front thigh, making sure that we're equally balanced between the feet. We're finding the outer edge of the back foot. The front knee is over the front ankle, but we're lightly resting on the thigh. We're really engaging bandha. We're using the strength in the quads, in the hips that we've been building up through spring. Lovely. Give the shoulders a wee shuggle, and then take the gaze to the back heel. Breathe with that. Lovely. Exhale, popping the hands down to the base of the spine. Inhale, coming all the way up and stepping forward and into tree. So now the left leg is a standing leg. The right leg is balancing. The shoulders are relaxed. We're feeling rooted through the feet and engaging the bandhas and long in the spine up to the crown of the head. Breathing in and breathing out. Finding that sense of connection, bringing back to mind, bringing back to heart, that thing that really filled us with joy. And then we're going to take that right leg nice and high and step back for a wide leg forward fold. So the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Inhaling, taking the hands onto the hips, drawing the elbows and the shoulders back. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bringing the hands down onto the mat. From here, inhale, half lift. So we're lifting the sit bones as we press into the floor. We're feeling that stretch between the soles of the feet and the sit bones. And then from here, we're going to start to walk the hands back as we draw the chest towards the thighs. So wherever the shoulders are, the hands are going to be underneath the shoulders. If we're bending the elbows, then we're tucking the elbows in so that they're parallel to each other and behind the wrists. We're tucking in the chin, finding space in the back of the neck. We're making sure that we're soft in the back of the knees, soft in the joints, strong in bandha, so the whole of the spine can lengthen. Breathing with that. Lovely. And then from here, we're just going to walk over to that left foot, take the foot out to the side, bend into the knee. And then from there, come over to the right foot, bend into the knee. Go back over to the left foot. This time the foot's facing the short edge of the mat. Place the right hand under the right shoulder. And then spiral, open elbow, wrist, palm, you take the left arm up. Lovely. Exhale, pop that down. Walk hand over hand over to the other side. So, right foot pointing forward, left hand under the shoulder, and then inhaling, elbow, wrist, palm opening up. So we need a nice spiral, stretchy twist through the body. Lovely. Pop it down. We'll do one more each side. Opposite hand to foot, navel engaged, opening all the way up. Lovely. And then just wrap the hand behind. See if you can wrap it round onto the top of that right hip. Draw that left shoulder back. Breathe in. Lovely. And then from there, release. Come all the way over to the other side of the mat. So the right foot's forward, left hand under the shoulder, engaging the navel, opening up through the elbow, the wrist, the palm of the right hand, wrapping that hand round the back, breathing into that. Lovely. And then from there, hand over hand, coming all the way towards the front edge of the mat, slide that front foot back, come to all fours into child's pose. So 3 slow breaths into the spine, into the lower back, the back of the waist, in and around the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. And as you exhale, just soothing, arriving on the mat, welcoming in a sense of broadening, breathing into the waist, into the sides of the ribs, into the armpits. As you exhale, just arriving on the mat, soothing the body. Lovely. Last one. Breathing into the whole of the abdomen, into the ribs, into the chest, into the sides of the ribs, into the armpits, into the back of the ribs, in and around the shoulder blades, and the back of the neck. As you exhale, just coming up to all fours, and then from here, we're just going to come into, what's this called? Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana. So just holding on to where feels comfortable. The soles of the feet are together. We're drawing the heels in towards us a little bit, and we're holding on. It might be the lower legs, it might be the ankles, it might be the toes. So if you're really tight because you've been doing quite a lot of running, then you might have the knees quite high. In which case, just imagine yourself a beautiful, we've been looking and seeing some beautiful orange tip butterflies recently. So imagine yourself a nice orange tip butterfly, and you're just, as it were, beating your wings in a gentle way. If your knees are closer to the mat, then you can imagine you've got a squashy ball underneath each knee, and you're gently squeezing into it, lengthening up into the crown of the head as you do so. If you'd like to go a little deeper again, then you're just going to draw into the chest, into a little kind of forward fold, but we're not rounding the back. We're keeping nice and long in the spine, and then we're just coming forward with the chest. So the head isn't kind of coming forward, other than because it's connected to the spine. We're not coming forward with the chin, for example. So we're nice and relaxing the shoulders, nice and long in the spine, engaging Branda. Lovely. And then coming all the way back, and we're just going to come into a little twist. So lifting the right knee up, just bring that foot forward so you can tuck that left foot back in towards the hips. And there's a couple of options here. One is to draw the foot close in this side, or if you want to go further, you take the foot across to the outside of that left knee. So choose what feels right. If you're taking the leg across, you might want to come up onto the knuckles and just kind of adjust your sit bones. So finding nice length, finding a nice length in the spine up to the crown of the head, and then left hand round the knee. Okay, take the right hand behind as you lengthen up on the inhale. Navel hugs back, spiraling round the spine, turning the gaze round to the right. Lovely. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to bring that right elbow there to the inside of the knee, lengthening up, and then navel hugs back, gently turning round to the left. Lovely. Inhale, come back to center. Now this is where we do around the world. So some of you will know this already. It's quite nice, and others, welcome. So what we're going to do is come up onto the, bring the weight forward towards the knees, come up onto the knuckles, tuck the toes, lift the knees, and then walk hand over hand from the right side across the back, over to the left, keep spiraling around with the feet, and then bring that right knee and hip down first, and you should find yourself in the twist, but the opposite way. Anyone not arrived? In fact, good. Everyone looks like they've just done a round the world trip in 3 seconds. Fantastic. So adjust your posture. If you feel a bit wonky, feel free to come up, onto your knuckles. Just make sure you feel comfortable and in your sit bones, in your hips. If this side is the side that's really tight and you need to bring that left foot to the inside of the knee rather than to the outside, then do as you need. Lovely. So right hand on the knee now, other hand for support as you lengthen up. Navel hugs back. On the exhale, gently turning round to that left side. Inhale, changing sides. Bring the elbow to the inside of this right knee. Lengthening up into the crown of the head as you breathe in. Navel hugging back, turning round to the right. Lovely. Inhaling, coming all the way back to face forward. We're going to unwrap ourselves and just come onto our backs, hugging the knees, rocking from side to side. So starting off with a hand on each knee, we're just going to roll round in a circle so we can feel a lovely massage around the lower back. Just do that couple of slow circles one way and then change direction back the other way. Lovely. And then we're just going to take the knees into a V shape, holding onto the knees and rock from side to side. So this is the first stage of coming towards happy baby. The next stage is just to open the legs up a little bit, so the thighs are staying where they are. You can hold behind the thighs and just shine the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. So the next stage after that, if you want to go deeper, is to bring the elbows to the inside of the knees, and then hold on to the ankles. And then the stage after that is keeping the elbows to the inside of the knees, but then wrap the hands across the tops of the feet, so the fingers curl around the outer edges of the feet. So just choosing one of those options. Is it just holding onto the thighs with the feet shining up? Is it taking the elbows to the inside of the knee, holding onto the ankles, wrapping the hands around the feet? Just choosing one of those options for yourself. Lovely. So finding space in the inner thighs, all around the tops of the legs and the groin, all of that quite tight area, I guess. Then we're just going to counter that by coming into a little twisted vine twist. So bring the legs together and pop the knees down on the mat. Before we come into the twist, we're just going to coming to a little flowing back bend. So feet as close in towards the hips, hands by your side, palm face down. Make sure the feet are comfortably hip width and the toes are pointing straight ahead. So we're just going to tuck and untuck the tailbone just a couple of times. And then in your own time, when it feels right, you're just going to roll the hips up, lifting the hips up, coming towards the head. And then as you keep the hips up there, and on the next inhale, you're just going to take the arms overhead. So now the hips are lifted and the arms are overhead. As you breathe out, slowly lower the hips down, vertebra by vertebra. And as you breathe in, slowly lower the arms back down by your side. So you should feel your core firing up. We'll just do that again. Tucking the tail, exhale, rolling the hips up. Keeping the hips lifted, inhaling, taking the arms overhead. Keep the arms overhead, exhale, rolling the hips down, nice and slow. And then from there, inhaling, bringing the arms down by the sides of the body. Just do one more together. Exhale, hips rolling up, nice and easy. And then inhale, keep the hips lifted as the arms go overhead. Keep the arms overhead. Exhale, the hips rolling down. Good. And then inhale, just bring the arms slowly, as if moving through deep water, down by the sides of the body. We're going to bring the feet together now with the knees bent and just cross the right leg over the left leg. Make sure there's no gap in between the legs. You've just flopped that right leg right over. You haven't got any space between the bent knee on the right leg and the underleg, as it were. Then lift the hips a few inches to the right. And what we're going to do now is start, so the knees are going to fall to the left. If you wish to go into twisted vine, you simply tuck that right foot behind the calf of the left leg, okay? If that feels too much, just stay with the legs crossed. So the knees go down to the left. You're very welcome to cup or hold on to them with that left hand in some way. The right arm and the gaze is to the right. So we're extending out to the right with the arm and the gaze, and the knees are going to the opposite way. So we've got this wonderful spiraling twist. Just breathing into that, just allowing the body to sink down, to release. So if it feels like you're a little bit tight in your twist and you'd like to find a softer spaciousness, feel free to, for the legs to go further down the mat, so it feels more comfortable and more welcoming. Just breathing into the right hip, breathing into that spiral through the body. What we're going to do is just unfurl, untwist ourselves, uncurl ourselves. Come back to feeling straight on, knees together, feet on the mat. And just do the same on the other side. So left leg crossing over. Lift the hips a few inches to the left. Feel free to tuck that left foot around the back of the right calf, or just leave it nice and open, not kind of hanging there as it were. And then knees go to the right, gaze and arm to the left. Once you've got yourself set up, you can close your eyes and just breathe with that. So every breath in, just welcoming in a sense of expansion, a little bit more space. Every exhale, you're just arriving. The body's just soothing itself. So inviting the lovely ebb and flow of the breath all the way in, all the way out. And then from there, just untwisting yourself. And getting yourself ready for relaxation. So if you've got a blanket handy, popping that over. If you're feeling warm enough as you are, just having the feet towards the corners of the mat. Having the palms out from the body. So just lying yourself down in a comfy way. And make sure that the head's supported. If you're lying on your side, see if you can get a nice cushion for yourself so you don't have to, take the weight of the head and the crook of the wrist, for example. If you're lying on your back, feel free to put a little cushion behind your head or behind your knees. So becoming aware of the body, where it meets the floor. Just inviting the sound of these chimes to flow over and around you. And there may be lots of other sounds surrounding you right now. Other people in the home, neighbours. And so just inviting them all to flow around and over. You don't have to attach to any of them. As if there's plenty of space for them all. And you might like to imagine yourself in your own space. A safe and protected space. Within this safe and protective space, just allowing yourself to imagine what that might be like. It might be something quite magical, something very cozy. So bringing into mind this space you would love to be in right now. You might imagine the sounds, the sights and the colours and the smells and the textures of that space. Notice how you feel when you can bring vividly to mind that space that feels right and just for you. Does the heart sing just a little? So in early summer, it's very much a time for the heart to sing. Just as the birds in the trees, singing long into the evenings, early in the morning. What can we find in this very moment for our hearts to sing? So imagining your wonderful space, that safe, protective space that's just for you, that would be incredible to be there right now. Imagine if that space could always be available to experience and to go into. How would you feel? So bringing the awareness to the soft flow of your breath. The ebb and flow of each and every breath. As we breathe in softly, it's almost as if we could breathe the very essence of that wonderful, supportive and safe space in from the ether, from the space around us. And as we breathe out, we can simply welcome ourselves into this very moment, into this shared space together. And if for a moment you'd like to imagine a little more with me, then join me. If you prefer to simply drift away somewhere else, then drift away. So let's imagine that as we breathe in, we can breathe directly in and out of the heart. As the breath flows in, it's as if it's filtered and warmed by the loving energy and joy of the heart. So bringing to mind the ripples in water or of a sound wave in the air. As the breath flows in, loving kindness and joy, and start to radiate from the heart outwards into the body, to the sides of the chest, down towards the belly, up into the chest towards the collarbones. With each fresh breath in, that energy and joyousness can continue to flow and radiate out towards the peripheries, into the hips, into the knees, flowing into the shins, the calves, the ankles, the soles of each foot, into the big toe pads, into the little toes, the tips of the big toes, and correspondingly flow outwards into the shoulders and down each of the arms, into the wrist, pooling in the fire points in the palms of each hand. Into the thumb, each of the fingers, throat, up in the back of the neck, in the back of the head. As if this wonderful loving energy could be of any form. The warmth in the space inside the ears, into the eyes, the eyebrows, the forehead, crown of the head. And with every exhale, we are more and more welcome into this space together. What is it like to be filled with loving joy? We welcome and imagine and experience that right now in some way. The mind may have drifted off. That's completely fine too. This is your space, your place, just for you. So the ebb and flow of the breath, the ebb and flow of connection through the body, from the heart. And if you are quite visual, it might be quite lovely to imagine what colour or colours this ebb and flow of loving, light-filled energy, warmth is in the body. And if you're a sensory person, you might simply be really tuning in and feeling that sensation of energy through the body, as if the very tips of the toes and fingers are gently tingling. And if you like to weave your way through the world with words, words maybe weaving their web around you as I speak. And if you are none of those, just resting in this very special place for yourself. Welcome. And so we're going to start to turn the boat and head to the shoreline together. Being carried gently by the ebb and flow of each and every breath. And know that in a few moments we will be starting to bring a little bit more alertness into the body, but just for now, this space to rest. And if you like, you're very welcome to bring back with you anything from this practice that can help or support you in the coming days. You're very welcome to leave all of which doesn't serve. So now deepening the breath, perhaps lengthening and deepening each breath, so you may even hear your breath, becoming aware of the sound of your breath as you deepen and lengthen and welcome each breath into the body, starting to bring movement into fingertips and into toes. Gently and steadily and slowly stirring the body. And just inviting that more alert state back into the body in a very kind and loving way. And so that slow movement into the edges of the body, developing into a nice long stretch. And from that lovely long stretch into hugging the knees and rocking from side to side. And just coming to rest on a side that feels really comfy. And just inviting yourself to stay there for a few moments. This practice of nidra, inspired by early summer, is now complete. This practice of nidra is now over and done. Thank you very much for listening. So making your way up now to a comfy, easy seated position. If you're watching this class recorded, I'm now going to say goodbye and thank you very much for joining. I'm going to finish the class together with all the live people here. Okay.